The procedure comprises of 3 rounds. The first round was the aptitude round. It was of 5 minutes and it was having 30 questions. All the questions were simple mathematics, board mass, plus, minus, multiplication. It tested your speed and skills in mathematics, in how much time you can easily solve those questions. The cutoff for that was around 22. 22 questions was the cutoff. Around 350 students appeared for the same, and out of them 50 were selected for round 2. The round 2 was having 30 questions in 30 minutes. All were of multiple choice questions, 4 choices plus 3 minus 1, and they were having a bit intense questions, calculation intensive, and questions which are focused more calculation oriented questions on which you have to think some a concept was there, you have to think the concept. Questions were easy. The cutoff for this section was around 19, and out of these 16 students were selected for the final interview, which took place in Future First Jaipur office itself. As I entered the office, the center head took my CV. These people are very much peculiar about the CV. He took the CV and he asked me the first question. Tell me about yourself, what is not in CV? I told him about my father's occupation, his name, my siblings, their educational background, my family education background, about my hobbies, my strengths. And about my hobbies, I told him that I love playing basketball and I solving Sudoku. Then from the hobby, he asked me what is the ring diameter of basketball. I said, sir, it is around 1.65 feet. He said, how can you represent it? I represented it like this, but it was a bit shorter. He said, what is the fault you are having out here? I said, sir, it is not a calibrated system. Then he said, we are okay with it. Then the second question he asked me is, what is the square root of 2? I answered up to 2 decimal points approximately, which I told them that first of all, I want to settle down in a metro, and most of the companies are not in metro. Secondly, money is a constraint in many of the companies. You just get a part of the bonus. Thirdly, most of the core sector companies are giving a supervisor job, in which you are in a plant supervising something, not an engineer kind of job. Most core sector companies give field job. I prefer an office job. And lastly, the independence is not there in most of the companies, and here very much independence is given to workers. I told them yes, I will, because money do solve a lot of problem. Then he said, how do you know that? Then I gave the example of my dad, that my dad started a company which suffered a loss of 40 to 50 lakh rupees, and due to which my family and me suffered a lot. So this thing I clarified to them. I told them first is money, second is growth, third is profile, and fourth is company. Then he gave me another question, that if I give you 20 to 25 lakh rupees in a mining sector company, will you join that? I said yes, sir, I will join that, because their money is there. And then he again said, if you are very particular about the core sector and all. Then I said, but the amount of money you are offering, that is way much, so I will join them. Then he gave me a 16-digit number on paper and told me to have a look at this. After that, he immediately asked me, why you joined the mechanical engineer, give me 5 reasons. I gave him the 5 reasons. I told him first S&P downgraded the US rating from AA plus to A plus. Secondly, I told him the Eurozone crisis. Thirdly, the all-time high value of gold. Fourthly, the oil barrel price crossing $100. And fifthly, about the Sensex. I gave him the 5 reasons. Then he asked me to write down the earlier given 16-digit number. I wrote it down again. About 15 minutes later, that question came to me. Then he asked me, is this number same with the number I have given you? I said yes. Then after after 1-2 questions, he asked me, are you really sure about this question? I said yes. He said, I am giving you 3 choices. If this number matches with the earlier number, I will give you a job. If this number doesn't match with that number, and your interview is over right now. The third option he gave me, you can skip the question. You are not bound to answer this question. I chose the first option. Again he asked me why you are taking such big risk. I said, sir, sometimes in life you have to take risk, and then he again asked, why are you taking this risk? I said, sir, because this risk is giving me a one-time opportunity in your company, so I said it twice. Just to check the observation power, he asked me this question, and as I entered the Future First office, his office was on the left hand side. I just had a look at the people around there. There were 6 tables, so on approx 6 tables were divided into 2 sets, and per set 6 people were sitting. On an average, I calculated around 50 people were there, so I said around 50 people are there. Then he gave me a task. Okay, yeah, do you know exactly? I said, no sir. Then he said, okay, I am giving you 30 seconds, go and count them. He just placed a timer. I just went outside his office, had a look at all the people. There was the same amount of calculation I just told you. And then I came back in 19 seconds. And he stopped the timer. He asked me how many people are there. I said, sir, the same number, around 54, 55. I explained all the calculation I used in that scenario. Then he said that you are why you haven't got to a correct number. I said, sir, because the time was constrained. And he showed me you are still having 11 seconds left. So then he humiliated me. He said that you cannot do anything, you are not at time, you are just giving abrupt answers, you are playing too calculative. So that time I really felt very, very low. That was a part of the stress interview, and it was a real stress I faced in that interview. This question was to test the analytical ability, and in this question I answered that let's take the Jaipur's population around 2 crores, and there are 40% people who are having a car, a 4-wheeler. So it comes around 80 lakh people are owning a car, and the market share of Hyundai is around 20%. So around 16 lakh Hyundais are there in Jaipur, and out of which 10% are Sentro. Sentro is an old model, and now i20 is there. So around 1.5 lakh Sentros are there. At this time I totally forgot that number. Then he again told me to write down the exactly that same 16-digit number. I wrote it down. He said, forgot the first number. The number you wrote 2 times, are they same? I said, sir, yes, these are same. Then he asked me again and again, are you confident? And are you know it clearly? Yes, sir. I said, I remember it clearly. Then he said, I gave you 3 choices again. Let's say I'm giving you a window of 2 mistakes. If you are having 2 mistakes or less than 2 mistakes, and you will get this job. If you are having more than 2 mistakes, the interview is really over this time. And third option is the same, and you can quit this question. I said, sir, I am committed less than 2 mistakes. He said, think clearly. Then he tested my stress level and my composure, and at this point of time I stick to my answer number 1. He doesn't answer the question. Then he asked me, why should we select you? Give me 5 reasons. I said, sir, I am a good risk taker. And secondly, I told him I have handled my college festival, so I am a risk taker, and also I can manage money, and various other reasons I gave. I said, sir, till date it's getting into MNIT Jaipur. He said, is this your biggest achievement? I said, sir, till date it is, but in future I can really go. During the 5-minute aptitude test, please do it yourself. You won't get time for cheating. If you will cheat, you will lose out some very, very easy questions. Secondly, please make your CV in a very correct format, and you should know each and every line written out there. These people are very particular about your CV. They ask you various questions from there. Thirdly, they will try to build very much stress. Don't feel stress. Be calm and composed. Answer each and every question. Give 5, 10, whatever reasons they will ask you. Don't give up at all. They don't want people who give up very easily.